Hey, how you doing? Oh, excuse me. Hey, how you doing? This is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. I'm here with Pixel Traitor and Eric Hodson. How you guys doing?
Hey,
Doing great.
good to be here.
I'm just posting. You guys gave me a bunch of links. I'm putting all your links in the chat, and I'll pull them up when they're pertinent to the conversation. So first off, how's everybody doing?
Doing well.
It's been a good
what
week.
is that on your shoulder, Eric?
Oh, this is Sebastian, the crab from the Little Mermaid comic. He got into my good whiskey, so he's a little tired right now.
Is there such a thing as bad whiskey?
I've heard there is.
I'm not a whiskey drinker. I'm basic. I'm a basic beer bitch. So what would be good whiskey? You got me curious.
Angel's Envy, any of the Jeffersons. I haven't tried Jefferson's Ocean yet. It's cured out to sea. I think that's a bottle that maybe Pixel and I should share when we do the fulfillment for Mermaid.
Oh wow!
Like
I haven't seen Phantasmagoria in a long time. It's good to see you. Good to see you. And we got Heroinberg over here. Heroinberg's one of the first people to come on my chat, come on my talks rather. So good to see you. Good to see you. All dirty fatty. I'm just saying hello to everybody in chat. So let's talk comics. Let's talk comics. So you guys have a campaign. Forgive me. I'm forgetting all the details because surgery kind of messed me up this week. Is your campaign active, or is it about to become active?
Campaign's active. We actually launched middle of last year. We right about a week before the movie came out, the old Little Mermaid movie that they had redone. And so our marketing campaign was focused on making fun of their version of the movie and say we have a superior Little Mermaid product. And so we launched a week before their movie, and it's been a hell of a ride so far, man.
Is this the appropriate link to put up, the Little Mermaids?
Yep. That's it right there.
Okay, cool.
We funded within a couple days.
Nice.
And then at the time of closeout, we had crossed 18, I think it was 18K, and we just hit 20K this week. So it's been amazing so far.
And what was your goal?
Our goal was 7,500.
Oh, wow! And you almost hit 20,000. That is, I love hearing stuff like that. I think that's awesome. Rising tide floats all boats, man.
Absolutely, and it was perfect time too.
So, and forgive me, there's so many cool campaigns going on, and I met Pixel Traitor while we were at a panel for another show, and I invited him on my channel. I'm embarrassed to admit that I didn't back yet, but I guess it's not too late. So I'm like new to the Mermaid party. So who's the writer? Who's the artist? And tell me about the comic.
It's written by the very capable Piper's Adventure, Piper Steed, drawn by myself, and the concept is totally Mr. Pixel Traitor here.
Yep. Actually, there's a link in the private chat if you want to pull it up on screen real quick. It's the tweet that started this whole mess.
Yes, right here. This is the tweet that started the whole mess. The shot that was heard around the world. Oh, maybe I shouldn't say that on YouTube, right?
The shit post that was heard around the world.
I can't see the tweet. What does the tweet say?
Okay, hold on one second. I'll tell you what. I'll pull it up on my screen real quick, and we can share it.
Yeah, share the screen. Yes, share the screen. It would be nice if I
did. So essentially, with this movie coming out, Pixel, who's a huge Mermaid fan, he loves Little Mermaid. He's got all the dolls. He was so pissed off about it, he decided to make a big shit post, and that's what he's going to share with us.
Okay.
With a little bit of AI helped out for the shit post, but it turned out pretty cool.
I have to say, I'm 100% with you as far as like when you love something, and then you see like a remake or for a modern audience. Oh my God! It just. I used to get mad, but I got burnt so many times that I'm just like, you know what? I don't even care anymore. You
tend to become numb, and
yes, to the point now, like when they announce that they're making something, I don't even good friends have to tell me it was good before I even get interested anymore. So this is the post that started it all.
This is what started it all, and what it was. I had been playing around with AI tools, and I had seen the reaction to the movie. People were kind of on the fence or just completely against the remake. And I'm like, how can I piss off a bunch of people at the same time? I'm like, okay, let's take a Little Mermaid and guns and put them together And so I made a AI image. It looked okay, and then I came back and then I photoshopped it to actually put a real gun in, colored her hair, did some cleanup on it, and then put together a logo and a tagline, and just threw it out there to the world to see what would happen.
So you had no
And
intentions of making a comic at this point.
had
You
no
were-
intention.
you
It
were
was
trolling.
a complete troll, just a shit post, just to see what would
Oh
happen.
my god, the $20,000 troll! This is awesome.
The engagement, you can see we're up to like 500 likes, but I mean, it just blew up immediately. People were retweeting it. It was going kind of nuts. And within the first hour, I had Eric and Piper in my DMs. One of them saying, "Hey, I'm writing this," and Eric's like, "I'm drawing this." And there was no, "Can I draw this?" or "Can I write this?" It's, "I'm writing this and I'm drawing this."
That is
And I'm like,
awesome.
so by the end of the day, we had the entire team put together. We had a concept already rolling, and we were like, "Okay, if we're making this happen, we gotta just go for it." And so we were batting around ideas, and it was just pedal to the metal until the point where we actually launched the campaign. But as soon as they announced what day they were going to release the movie, we all agreed, okay, that's the week. We're going to launch our book at least a week before that. And so we did.
What is that? What was the guy's name from the A Team? Don't you love it when a plan comes together?
Oh yeah. Oh, God, what is his name? It's not Face. It's the other one.
Yeah, I can name them all, but him.
Hannibal.
Hannibal. Thank you.
Hannibal, that's right. Hannibal. This is
Yeah.
awesome. This is fun. I guys, I did not know any of this. Like I said, I just met you the other day in another panel, and we hit it off. I invited you in, and this is great. This is making my this is making a big smile on my face, which I kind of needed today because I'm not feeling too good.
Yeah, so here we are. So that it came from this, and then so let me step
Things
back
are
a
much
minute.
deader down where it's wetter.
Exactly.
Oh,
The
don't make me
tagline.
laugh.
Hey, I don't want to pull any stitches. So that the whole thing is all about puns and making fun of stuff. But one of the things we committed to immediately after this blew up was, there's been this discussion about AI and the usage of various assets and whatnot. And we said, okay, this is great for promotion and getting it out there, but we need to get a real picture here. We're not going to use AI for any of our actual products.
Okay, that was okay. You anticipated my next question.
Yeah. So there's no AI in the actual project, and in fact, I'm going to pull up the campaign real quick.
Sure.
Little mark right here. One of the things we did.
Everybody in the chat, we see we got a lot of people. Let me know in the chat what you think about AI and or parodies and things like that.
So I'll go back into the campaign a little bit, but I wanted to show this off because Eric Nienoltalski, fantastic artist, he actually helped us take the original shitpost and turn it into something really cool here. And so this is his reinterpretation of the original posts in his own style. And it's the Fund My Comic exclusive cover. You won't be able to get that anywhere else. So as the campaign's still live, it'll still be available, but once it's gone, yeah, we won't be redoing it.
That is cool. I like the starfish on one side and gills on or scales on the other.
Scales on the other. Yeah, so there's a whole lore that Piper really came up with for the character, and what it is when the mermaids are born, they're fully covered in scales because they need the most protection. But as they get older, the scales start to drop off, and over time they become kind of patchy, and so that's why she only has it on one side. And so the starfish is actually a character in the book, and that's a whole other story. But the starfish, there's a whole royal family of starfish that are like modesty protectors for the royal family. And so they're used to protect them once they get to a certain point. And
That's
so this
pretty
one's name, his name is Napoleon. So Napoleon Boner
You make me laugh, dude, and it hurts.
I'm sorry, man. The whole book is
okay.
just puns and fun. And there's he gets one line in the book, and at first he wasn't even going to have a line, but
Pixel and I had to fight for this. We had to fight for this because, to Piper's credit, she was taking this story really seriously, and we really wanted to have a little bit of fun here. So we're grateful to her for letting this happen.
Okay.
So he's referred to as a
you
throwing
guys are
starfish.
really good. This is like the easiest talk I've ever had because you keep anticipating my questions. I was going to say, is there humor in this? Is this being played out straight? But I could just be quiet.
It definitely has its moments. It starts out pretty. So again, I'm a big wordplay.
Eric, you drew this?
Yes.
This is awesome. This looks really. Who's your colorist?
Federico. He was the same colorist on American Bliss with me.
Okay. Oh, you do American Bliss over at Genuine Comics?
Yep.
I just read Perfect 10 last night. Oh my God, I loved it. I just reached out to Dave Brink, and I said, man, when my comic comes out, if it's half as good as Perfect 10, I'll consider it a success. That was so good. So yeah, you're good company. This is awesome artwork here. Look at this.
Yep. And so again, wordplay puns. The name of the boat is the Buena Vista. People that know, but we gave in here. So our story, actually, let me jump back up really quick here.
Sure. Yeah, let's look at all the covers. Yeah.
So the tagline for the book is the sanctity of the Mermaid Kingdom is put at risk when a smuggler loses an illicit shipment off the coast of Argentina in the late 1950s. He wants his weapons back. She wants war. And so there's this whole thing where there's a smuggler named Enrique that loses a shipment. Some antics happen. She discovers them, and then it gets into just immediately hell. It's the best way to explain it. She gets pissed off and she goes to seek her revenge. So one of the first images beyond that first AI picture that we had done, we knew we wanted to have an explosive cover, and so we went to Jose Garcia.
Oh,
Jose Garcia. He started with just this half here, and so it was just this piece here where she's got her minigun going, and he's got his claw out. It looked great. But we're like, you know what? I think we need to go with a full wraparound cover. So I went back to him and said, can we do a full cover? And so he came up with this chaotic scene. And the first time he came back to us, he said, awesome. This is great. Can we have more carnage? And he's all, no problem. Let me come back.
I had Jose on my channel a while ago, and I said to him that his artwork is so good. Like, the only thing I can compare it to, even though the styles are different, is he reminds me of Sergio Aragonés. If you guys are familiar with Grupo.
Oh, yeah.
Like, both of them, their artwork is it's animated. Like, this looks like it's moving. Like, I know it's not moving. I know it's a static picture, but you know what I'm saying? Like, when you look at Gru the Wanderer, it almost plays tricks on your eyes. You almost think that things are moving around in the background. And Jose Garcia is the only other person that I know who could do that. This is awesome. I really like this.
Yeah, I said, hey, can we have a shark eating somebody? And he's all, yeah, no problem. We came back, and I think there's at least 10 dudes in there getting eaten.
Yeah, you want one guy? I'll give you 10. How's that?
It's amazing. So this is the primary cover for the book, and he did a fantastic job on it.
Yeah, you did.
We have this picture here. So another thing to talk about too is that originally we had planned on doing this book as kind of like Red Sonja, black, white, and red kind of vibe.
Okay.
And we were dead set on that. And then we did a color test with Federico. This is Eric's cover here. He sent this over to us, and we were just going, oh my God, this looks amazing. We're not going to be able to show this off and then not do the book in color.
Okay.
And so we made a decision to do the book in color at that point.
That is cool. I like that. Swim with the fishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Dory. Well, we're not going to name names specifically, but you recognize certain fish here.
Clownfish. Yeah.
And then third cover was actually mine here.
Oh, and it's Arrow Comics too. I didn't know that. I apologize for not knowing about this campaign that much in advance. Arrow Comics puts out some good stuff.
And we're actually the first book on their new imprint for 3G, which is Guns, Girls, and Gore.
I didn't know about that.
We'll be their first adult line type book here, or mature line, rather.
Mature, yeah.
Yeah.
Mature. As much as talking fish with machine guns can be called mature, but yes, I get what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So this one's my cover. Yeah, I did both these pieces. I couldn't decide which one I wanted to put on the cover, so I decided to make it a flippable cover, and so we've got two different pieces.
Clever.
Yeah. And so we did this one, and then we have the campaign exclusive for Fund My Comic, which was done by Eric Mandelpowski.
That is cool. That is cool. So you got that black, white, and red aesthetic in there somewhere.
Yeah. Yep. Had to do that. And we have a full color version of this that will probably be used elsewhere. And it's definitely going on a metal card for one of the box sets that we offered. I think we're going to come back and bring back another box set here in the next week or two. I just got to figure out all the logistics on which items I want to put in it. But Yeah, it's pretty epic. I love this piece so much.
Yeah, yeah. If you ask me to pick one, I'm gonna have to think about it for a while because these all of them were really cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick one. You can just go through here and choose the
Well, you know what I mean.
4-pack.
Yeah,
Choose the 4-pack and pick one of each.
but what a good man! Always be selling. You are good. You are good. I could learn a lesson from you. And this is the interior art.
This is some of the interior art. Yeah, so this starts out just off the coast of Argentina, and there's a ship going here. This is our smuggler Enrique talking about how they're all celebrating. You know, they're about to make some good money here, and right as they're about to get into port, something happens. Some odd music and some weird fog starts to roll in, and all of a sudden they're attacked by a shark. And as you get a little bit further in, I've got these pages are actually in color now. You saw that piece. Actually, I don't think I showed that one yet, but we have this page in color. There's a few other pages here, but yeah.
This is awesome. That is the stuff of nightmares, guys. So,
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
It's absolutely a blast to draw this book.
Yeah, I can imagine. I can imagine this was fun to draw. Oh my God. Now I gotta ask you, Eric, did you draw that like whole cloth? And if not, how was that described to you to draw? What was the notes that you were handed?
Oh my gosh. I wish I had the script in front of me.
I'll pull it up quick and see.
Yeah. Well, this whole scene here is basically the sharks they're appearing as sharks, and the people are seeing mermaids. That has something to do with the plot later on. So they think they're being attacked by mermaids when it's actually killer sharks. And so for this page, it's trying to kind of bring those two together. So we have that, and we have the sharks coming in, and then we have the weird glowing mist, and then what he's actually seeing. And I use the old trope of the light across the eyes to try to convey that this person's seeing something different.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So he's almost seeing through the hallucination right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. But geez.
Yeah, so you're seeing what he's seeing. They're really just sharks, but he's seeing this crazy mermaid-looking shark hybrid thing coming to eat him, and so he's all tripped out.
Yeah.
But it's all the sea witch manipulating them to see something that they're not actually seeing.
So this comic isn't. People can't read this yet. This isn't delivered yet. This isn't in fulfillment.
Correct.
No,
We're still working on it.
How do you know approximately when this is going to be? And we could still get in on this.
Yeah, you can absolutely still get in on it.
As far as an approximate date, we're not completely nailed down, but I'm hoping to have a bulk of the pages done by the end of next month.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So as soon as he's done with his pages, we've got 60 pages for the main story. There's another 18 pages for the supplemental. I believe it's 18, right? The cocaine shark book.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to end up being like 20, including the cover. So it should be.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So that supplemental is a whole other little cocaine shark story that he gets to tell. This is our cocaine shark character, and people love the idea of a cocaine shark, and so we wound up building. Actually, well, as soon as Cocaine Bear came out, and Eric can tell the story too, but he posted this piece of art again, another kind of one of those trolling type things. He created a cover for a cocaine shark after he heard about Cocaine Bear, and it was a really cool concept, and we're like, let's do something with it. And so we decided to make it a add-on. Well, not add-on, but a stretch goal. So once we hit I think it was 15,000.
It was 15,000. And part of the coincidence was that Piper was also inspired by Cocaine Bear, and she started writing Cocaine Shark into the script, not knowing that 3 months ago I had posted this mock cover of Cocaine Shark. So it was all pretty much meant to be.
I was about to say that. Yeah, this is just, the stars were aligning, and you got. I'm just amazed that I can't get past the fact that you just did it as a troll goof, and you're $20,000 richer. That is awesome. That is like the success story of the year that I'm that I can think of. What is the Sebastian Krabs character's name?
It's Stab Bastion.
Okay.
So it's like stab with a knife.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Yeah, stab
okay.
Bastion.
So he's got a knife taped to his hand.
Yeah. He pretty much, he's the old war torn, grizzled old dude, and he's seen some stuff, and he had to escape a sushi restaurant, so he's a little bit battle damaged.
Oh, that's funny. That is really funny.
Here's the original.
Oh wow, look at that.
Original Cocaine Shark cover. He just redid the logo, I think, and kind of made some changes to it.
Eric, that's your art also?
Yes, sir. So originally I was doing this as a modern comic, but because of my being involved with the Fantastic collection, I've been getting into a lot of Golden Age books, and I really love the Golden Age format. So I've made the decision that all of my personal comics are going to be Golden Age format. So I've redrawn this in a more Golden Age size and Golden Age style. And Pixel, if you want to bring that up and show people the Golden Age version. This will probably be a print in the book, or it'll come with it, just so we have the original with it. But
this is just like a concept piece.
This was a concept piece, yes.
So when you say you're a fan of Golden Age comics, like the old, like Blue Beetle.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Sorry, I had to stop sharing for a second there.
It's funny because I'm glad, because I like the Golden Age of comics. They're expensive to collect. Like I'll go to garage sales and I'll find one. Oh my God, that's like, I'm like so giddy when I find an old Golden Age comic.
They're expensive if you collect the horror and sci-fi ones, which I love.
Yeah.
Westerns, you can get Westerns pretty affordable still, but Planet Comics or Startling Stories, Chamber of Chills, those are pretty pricey.
Yeah, the horror, the Western and like the comedy ones, like old celebrity comics, they seem to be dirt cheap. Nobody wants them, but I agree with you that the horror comics are where it's at. Like the big hole of my collection is Golden Age EC stuff.
Oh, sweet. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, he took it a different direction, which is awesome.
So, and this is the actual cover to the backup.
Yep. This will be the printed cover, and it's the wider Golden Age format, which I love because there's just more room for storytelling.
Right. Cool. And who's writing this? Piper's also writing this?
Well, it's kind of we're doing it the Marvel way, the Ditko Stan Lee way, where I will have all the story done, and then she can go in and put some dialogue in.
Okay.
So I've got the idea of the story, but I'm going to let her script it out.
Okay. All right. So that's pretty cool. It's funny because I don't hear anybody doing the Marvel method anymore. That it seems to be like a era of a bygone age, and that only works with like true collaborators. I couldn't just grab somebody off the street. We're going to make a comic. Let's do it the Marvel. You have to have talent. You have to have trust.
Yeah.
You got to have teamwork. So that's pretty cool. All right, I'm looking at the dreaded. Oh, I dreaded dinosaur. I thought that was another. So then where is this set? Is this also set in like the 40s? Is it set in the Golden Age?
No, this is kind of the 80s. This is the future. One of the characters will be a grandchild of somebody who is in the Mermaid on the ship there. Okay, so he kind of gets these old stories of this area of waters that they're trapped in, and that helps bring Cocaine Shark back into the mix.
Okay. This sounds like a lot of fun. A lot of fun. So are you guys? I take it you fans of parody?
Oh yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
I had Don Chin on the channel a while ago. When we were talking about the radioactive adolescent. I always say it wrong. Adolescent radioactive black belt hamsters, which to me was the cream of the crop of the parody comics. But for the most part, I just find like, do you read the Marvel Silver Age parodies like Not Brand X and R and all that? They were terrible.
Yeah.
So, hard to pull off. You have to be clever. Mad Magazine did it well. You've got to be a fan of Mad Magazine.
Oh yeah, Mad Magazine. The old Spy versus Spy stuff. That's like
Spy versus. I'm always amazed that there isn't an animated Spy versus Spy movie. you know. And nowadays, I'm glad that there isn't, because how bad would it be?
Yeah.
It'd be live action, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm trying.
They would do something terrible with it.
Who would be the two spies? I don't even know.
Kevin Hart would be one of them.
I'm sorry?
Kevin Hart.
would probably be one of them.
Kevin Hart and Jim Carrey. Yeah. Black spy, white spy. Yeah. Literally.
Oh my god. Or Ryan Reynolds. I don't know. It'd be rough.
So
yeah. We decided that we had to really walk a careful line here, because obviously Disney is a very litigious company. The book is AR-13L. We never refer to her as Ariel. Her name is Coral in the book. And so we're trying to be sure that we don't do certain things. The only place where we got even close to names that were similar was Sebastian versus Sebastian, but we've really clearly demarcated how they're different. He smokes cigars. He's the old grizzled war vet kind of thing, and so we're really careful there. But we definitely lean on the fact that it is an original story based on the old Hans Christian Andersen story. And so we lean into that heavily to make sure that we're covering our bases here.
Yeah. Have you had any trouble? Has anybody ever said anything to you?
I know that people inside Disney have seen it, and I've heard there's been a few gasps and "oh no" kind of comments that have come from it. But I have not received a cease and desist. Haven't received any type of letters or anything there. So far so good. I think we're safe enough here.
Yeah. I mean, $20,000 to us is a big deal, but to Disney, it's not even like the price of a lawyer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's probably what they pay for napkins.
Right. Yeah. So I could see them like, why spend? Let them put out this silly book. It'll be gone. Is probably the way they're thinking. You know.
Yeah. But we do have plans. I would love to be able to take this into a sequel. We already have ideas. We had so many ideas that we had to strip stuff out because there was just no way we were going to make. Actually, we had a 48-page goal initially, but our story wasn't going to fit 48 pages. We had to hit the stretch goal for the 60 pages. Otherwise, the book was going to be truncated in a really bad way. Okay. And so thankfully we hit that stretch goal. That was our 10K goal, I believe. And there's this whole other underlying story here that goes crazy, like we haven't even talked about, and we only hinted at in this story that we could take it in. But it's one of those things where we didn't know if this one was even going to take off. We were just hoping. So we said, okay, we're going to put everything that we can fit at least into this one shot and see how it does. And if it goes well and people respond to it well after we've done this, we'll take it back and try again with the second one. But for now, we're stoked with what we got here. I'm completely humbled by the fact that we hit this amount, especially with the way that crowdfunding is right now. I thought maybe 15, and that was like just hoping kind of thing. Like I hope we can hit 15, and here we are at 20, and now at this point I'm like, can we hit 25? I think we can.
Is this your first crowdfunding campaign for both you guys?
That's for me, yes. For Eric, he's done a number of books.
That's right. You've been working with Genuine Comics, yeah.
Yeah, I work with Genuine Comics. I'm also work with Mess Bucket Comics. We do a series of wrestler comics. The first one was Roddy Piper, the Kilted Avenger. I just finished the pages last month for the British Bulldog UK Defender, so that will be crowdfunding soon. And we got 2 more books after that, and it's a shared universe kind of thing. So
okay.
It's a lot of fun.
He's got something cool coming out with Drunk 3PO pretty soon.
Yeah. I'm doing Achromatic Chronicles Green. I'm very happily working with 3PO on that, and it's going to be a great one for your kids.
I'm sorry, I missed the title. What did you say the title was?
It's Achromatic Chronicles Green.
Okay.
So he put out his first book, which is Blue, that did over 100K.
Wow.
And it's about children who live in a black and white world that's very oppressive. Their parents are very controlled by the state. TV controls. There's shades of They Live to it, to the back end of the story. And these kids find and discover sentient colors. So the first one was discovering blue, and the second book that I'm working on is green.
Black and white world. Okay.
Yeah. And so whenever the color touches something in the black and white world that's supposed to be that color, it changes. And color comes into this black and white world, which freaks all the adults out, of course. So there's a very really complex, but easy to understand story there. And it's great for the youngsters. So,
okay. So is it all ages or is it for children?
All ages, yes. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool. That sounds interesting. That sounds cool. I can't help but look at all the comics behind you. I see you got Milk and Cheese. Are those all CGC comics? Or?
There's some CGC ones. So Iron Man, Submariner, 2 in the middle. I'm a huge Magnus Robot Fighter fan. So there's a #1 there. I started collecting this Golden Age book called Margie Comics because that's my wife's nickname.
Okay.
I got a Chamber of Chills, a Conan one, Red Sonja I'm a huge fan of. So yeah, there's a bunch of stuff there.
Yeah, that's the Valiant, right? Valiant Comics Robot Fact.
I have the Valiant and I have the original Dell Gold Key.
See, Dell is another big hole in my collection. I just, it's funny that we're talking about comics, but I just picked up this book, Funny Books. It's like a history of Dell Comics because
sweet.
I don't know enough about Dell Comics, and they were the biggest comic book company in the world, you know.
Wow. They were doing licenses like crazy. But this is original to Dell, one of their original books. So Magnus, Solar Man of the Atom, and Turok all came from the Dell Gold Key era.
Yeah, that looks awesome. Did you pay a pretty penny for that, or did you find that for a steal?
I've owned this for quite a while, so I probably paid $85 to $100 for it. And if I had to guess the grade, I'd say it's around a 6.5 maybe.
Yeah, I don't grade my. When people talk to me about comics, they just assume that I grade. That to me just starts a problem. If I tell you something's a 6, what does that mean? You know what I mean? Like
right.
you could just as easily argue that it was a 5 or a 7 or so. I just show them the comic. Do you want this? Look at this. You know what I mean? I'll give you a high resolution picture of it or whatever. But once you start assigning numbers, it just starts arguments, you know. So I don't do it.
Well, CGC is the one that says so. Right. When you send stuff to them to grade, whatever it comes back as, that's what it is.
I got too many good old key comics, and I can't mail them off. You know, I'm hearing that sometimes it takes like a year. You know, and they were backed up, but I work with a Fantastic Collection, and we send out boxes for grading like every few days. They'll come back in 2 or 3 weeks. Oh, that's good.
Okay. Right now, we're doing a lot of we have a lot of books that, because if you haven't heard of the Fantastic Collection, my buddy Darren. He inherited this huge collection from his father, Dale, who was this obsessive collector. He had some money because he was a Michigan lawyer, but he also had like Asperger's or, more heavy in the spectrum. So he hyper-focused on comics. So instead of buying one 30-cent copy of Ghost Rider 1, he bought 30 of them.
Wow.
Or 100 of them. It didn't matter to him. It was just, and they just put him in a closet forever. So when he passed away, Darren inherited all these books he didn't want. And the story kind of evolved. And now there's a documentary that's being wrapped up. We're going to be seeing that going to the film festivals here shortly. And we've been out to see, we were partners with CGC. We have our own custom label on our books that I drew.
Wow.
It's the very first Providence label for inherited collections. And it's been great. We have a whole website, fantasticcollection.com, where you can.
Oh, okay. Can you put that in private chat, and I'll put that in there. And then if you wouldn't mind, messaging me that on Twitter or something, I would love to check that out. That's fascinating to me.
Oh, absolutely. I'd love for you to have Darren on when you have a chance. But
yeah.
Yeah, it's an incredible story. The guy's amazing too.
That sounds fascinating. I had a coworker years ago, maybe 20, 25 years ago. And she was tutoring a girl, and the house looked like hoarders, boxes all over the place and everything like that. So my friend was making fun of him, like, if there's a fire in this house, you're dead. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. So they're like, what's even here? And the girl's like, I don't know. This is the way the house has been since I was born. So they started exploring their own house, and they found boxes upon boxes of comic books. You know what I mean? And she's like, oh my God, she goes, I've walked by, I never knew it was here. So she goes, my buddy John would love to see these. So they invite me over, and I'm like, it's almost everything Marvel put out from Fantastic Four #1,
wow,
to about maybe like Ghost Rider #1,
nice.
So she goes like, do you want them? And I was like, yes, but I'm trying not to. So she's like, well, how much do you think they're worth? So I offered what I could afford, you know what I mean? I'm not going to ask. So she was like, okay. And then I don't hear from months. I'm just like, this girl got somebody else, you know what I mean? And then I remember like 2 weeks before Christmas, she's like, come and get the comics. So me and my brother, it was pouring rain out, I'm like, oh my God, we grabbed garbage bags, and we went to the house, and we got these boxes, we wrapped them in garbage bags. And then, and I just remember my father, I don't know how, old Italian guy, he's on the phone like this talking to his brother, and he's like, John, he's like, this a-hole just borrowed $20 for gas from me so he could go buy comic books. What an ass. He's making fun of me. I just got out of college. I just started my job. You know what I mean? I had no. So my little brother pulls out Iron Man #1. It just happened to be the first comic in the box. He goes, Dad, this is worth $1,000 right here. And he just goes, John just bought a fortune in comic books. Like instantly changed his story, And my friend Larry, who ran the comic book store, I called him up, and he came over, and my brother and Larry, we just sat around the table bagging and boarding, and he was just like, John, I'm just so glad to actually see these comics. There was Hulk 181, all the Fantastic Fours up to like 140 or so. I was like, he's like, oh my God, so that's like since that day, I've become like obsessed with filling the holes of my comic collection. We
can definitely help out with that, because that's part of the modus operandi of the Fantastic Collection, is wanting to bring as many people that love and are passionate about comics into the family, give them a chance to get something, at a fair price that can fill their collection. And again, it's not just the big keys, because we've got plenty of keys, but it's all of the stuff in the middle runs that you don't necessarily see in I hate to use the numbers, but we have a lot of 9.8s of stuff that you don't find in a 9.8 anymore. Because again, he just put them in a closet and forgot about them.
Yeah, that's what this guy did. He literally bought them as they came out, so they were in chronological order. Like he just
nice.
in you know what I mean. So they were. I don't even know if this guy ever read them. So like I'm gonna guess that I have like a Hulk 181 that's a 9 or at least.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Sick. Wow.
So please send me that link to. I think we board Pixel.
I'm still here.
Oh, okay, I saw you went black. I thought something happened. So
we need to play the trailer for Merkmaid.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'll pull it up real quick. I set since I don't come on camera, I tend to just put stuff in the background when I'm.
And guys, I saw him before we went live. You're glad he doesn't go on camera. There's a reason why Eric draws horrific monsters.
Yeah, that whole cybernetic eye thing it freaks people out.
That was fine. It was the oozing flesh that got me.
Yeah, that tends to
part of the model for the accountants here.
So Pixel, I haven't asked you. I got fascinated by this story. That to me was a fascinating story about this collection. Are you a big collector also? Are you crazy like Eric and I?
Not nearly as much. So, but I did love. I mean, I've always loved comics, but my my first books were actually just a box that I picked up at a yard sale when I was a kid. So it had a bunch of old like Spider-Man, Superman issues and stuff in it, and they were already beat to hell when I got them. So I didn't know any better. Yeah, so I continued to love them, and old Batman issues and stuff. But most of the stuff was like mid 70s to mid 80s in that range.
And let me guess, you must have read them over and over again to the point like you have panels memorized.
Pretty much, man. And covers are falling off a couple of them and stuff, but I still love them, and I wouldn't trade them for anything. But I didn't start really collecting until probably the late 80s or early 90s. Punisher actually was one of the books that I started getting into. Punisher War Journal.
Okay.
Specifically. and then a couple crossover issues and stuff. But what really triggered me for collecting was when Image stuff started coming out. I found Bloodstrike #1, and from that point forward, I was invested in Extreme, and then I found my way into all the other companies there. Spawn was doing this thing, and then Wildcats was over here doing their thing, and like I started getting it. Pretty much anything that had the Image label on it, I was snagging it and reading it. Pixel's a ginger. No, that's one thing I am not. Damn it. But
that's too horrific. That's my wife is a ginger, so I don't know. So about, I guess being a comic book fan, we all love redheads, right? I mean, how can you be a comic book fan and not like redheads?
that's why she's in my book. But yeah, no. So like my whole mindset for comics really is that early 90s vibe, that just a hardcore action story, you know, it was kind of there.
You're younger than me, you know. I seem that I can't even talk. It seems like a lot of the people that I have conversations with, they're all Image. You know, I'm a little older, so by the time Image came out, I was like lamenting Marvel, you know.
Yeah.
I was
looking back. I definitely like looking back now, I definitely like the older Marvel stuff, and I've started going back and exploring that side because I just didn't have exposure to that because I was so heavily invested in Image at the time. So I missed a lot of the cool stuff from DC back then. So I'm coming back and catching up.
Do either one of you still into comics, like mainstream comics now? Do you buy anything? And if so, what are you interested in?
I've been buying the new Red Sonja, and I'm liking the new Darren Warren Johnson Transformers and following some of that stuff too.
I've been hearing nothing but good stuff about that. Oh yeah, I should pick that up. Yeah, what do they call it? The Energon universe? Excuse me. Yeah, people are talking about that, and I just saw today that they're bringing back a Spider-Man and he's with Mary Jane or something like that.
Ultimate Spider-Man. They're Marvel publishing a book with a wholesome family in it. What's going on?
Yeah, I told the story many times on my channel, but I just cold turkey just quit Marvel in 2015, and it's funny because it didn't even get that bad yet. You know, it got worse a couple of years later, and I just couldn't take the disrespect to the characters and the continuity, and I thought that was like I was reading more comics and enjoying them less, and comics were getting more and more expensive, so I just kind of stopped. And I'm glad I did, because the insulting preachiness was a year or so away. And oh my, you know, so I kind of like, I just don't even look at it anymore. It's like I tell people it's like breaking up with a girlfriend, you know, like I wish her well, but I don't have to check on her, you know what I mean? That's creepy. So Marvel and DC, I hope you get your stuff together. But you know, it was fun, and I got my memories.
Yeah. I don't collect much anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and play the trailer real quick here. I think I got the audio shared. Go do that here.
That's cool. Did you make that trailer yourself?
Yes, yeah. And that's actually my voice too. The music was done as a cover of a song called Mermaider by somebody I found on Fiverr. And then I just rewrote the lyrics to match our story.
That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, you recorded that in your closet, right?
Yeah. I took my laptop into my closet, surrounded myself with the clothes there so I wouldn't have any echo. It worked out pretty well.
And I see we have Luke Stone in the chat. Luke Stone, for those of you who don't know, is the founder and owner of Fund My Comic, the platform that you're on. And as we speak, I'm having my campaign built on to be released on Fund My Comic.
Nice.
So how is the platform? Like, you know, let's talk a little bit about the physical, the whatever, the necessities of crowdfunding. How is that?
Sure. So, no, well, when we launched the campaign, Fund My Comic had only been out for about 3 months, 2 to 3 months. It was still considered beta. I knew that I wanted to launch on the platform because he hadn't had a big book yet, and I wanted to throw my faith and support behind the platform because I knew we needed an alternative after seeing the stuff that was happening with Kickstarter and Indiegogo. We got a lot of crap initially too because a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's not going to do so well. You're not going to have any traffic," but I was pretty confident in the way that we were getting interaction and stuff on our campaign. We had almost 400 signups on our mailing list by the time that we took it live. That I was pretty sure we could at least hit our goal on the site, and that was my main goal. There was just get the 7,500, get a little bit of promotion for Fund My Comic, and see what happens. And there were some hiccups during the launch night, but everything was cleared up very, very quickly. And mainly most of the funding was fine. We just had some international stuff we had to get figured out. But support for the campaign has been fantastic. The site itself is very performant, has done really good for us. I've gone back and forth with Luke on a few things as far as functionality, but it's, again, the site is barely a year old.
Yeah, that's my point that I'm going to get to, because I've heard horror stories of people on Indiegogo and Kickstarter, and they're reaching out to customer support, and there basically is no customer support.
Right.
Like I'm nobody, and I have Luke's phone number. So if I'm very confident, and I don't know, you guys are more experienced than I am now, as are probably everybody in the chat. Like, do you really think the platform would hold you back? Like, because I'm not asking Luke to promote me. I'm not asking Indiegogo to promote me, and I'm not asking Kickstarter to promote me. It's all on me to promote me. You know what I mean? So like, I don't. Am I naive in thinking like the platform shouldn't matter? Like, and you said you got a little feedback of using.
You're not naive. So there is kind of a built-in audience for certain types of books on certain platforms, specifically like Kickstarter. They've definitely got that whole bad girl vibe. There tends to be a little more of a community around it over there for that, and so they tend to cross promote, and those books tend to do really well over there. But from my experience within this whole crowdfunding scene, I came onto the scene about 5-6 years, actually, I guess, yeah, about 6 years ago. I started a website called IndieCron where I was tracking crowdfunding.
Oh, that was you?
That's me, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
And so through my interaction with creators and stuff on there, I got to kind of learn like how they were dealing with those platforms, the insides and outs of the crowdfunding side of all this stuff. And so I got to see a lot of behind the scenes things over there. So when I look at this stuff happening, and from the conversations I've had, I knew that a lot of that traffic was coming from promotion from other people. It wasn't coming from the sites themselves.
Right. It was coming from getting out there and canvas and pressing the flesh, as they say, the politician.
Exactly. And ultimately, it's on you as a creator to get out there, get your name in front of people, and just be persistent. And that's what we did. And it worked. It definitely worked. Now, if I were to launch this today, I don't think we'd make as much, but that's also because we timed this a specific way to be here right for the certain people. And I was inside the replies to. I basically did a search for Little Mermaid or the hashtag for Little Mermaid. Any tweet that I saw that had over a certain level of engagement, I was on there under the Little Mermaid account, Mermaid account, and was talking trash or dropping pictures or links or doing whatever I could to antagonize. My goal was to get blocked by Disney. They never did it, but I definitely tried my hardest.
Block you.
Yeah.
How dare they be tolerant and nice to you? It effed up everything.
Well, I think they knew that if they were to block me, I would just turn around and
you were looking for the Streisand effect.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I got to say, that's pretty clever, And unfortunately, I've been reminded the past couple of days that drama does work, so you used it to your advantage. So good for you.
Yeah, we tried not to get dramatic ourselves. We just tried to poke fun at the drama itself. So if somebody was talking trash about something, they'd be like, hey, if you don't like that, you can always come check out this. Or, oh yeah, the book is all dark. Well, check out this. I hope you like, you like guns, or just whatever I could do to throw them off. And it worked. Obviously it worked here. We're looking at a pretty good amount, but it's amazing. I'm still kind of just floored that we got here.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
That would be beyond my dreams if I did it half as well as you, with my comp. So you picked Fund My Comic because you liked Luke, or you liked the website, or you just didn't want to deal with the other two sites? Like, what made your decision to go?
There's a little bit of all of it in there, because I mean, I've been working, not working with, but alongside Luke on various projects in indie comics, and he's proved himself time and time again to be an upstanding citizen in the indie comics community. So honestly, if there was anybody else who had started this Fund My Comic thing, I might be a little suspect, just because I didn't know their reputation and their honor. So I really felt good about that part. And honestly, to your previous question about the like organic traffic, I don't really see a lot of organic traffic, especially with Indiegogo, because you can get shadow banned so easily over there.
That's my big fear, is you do all this work and then through no fault of your own, nobody can find your comic.
Yeah. So so you cultivate your own audience. They're going to go wherever you tell them that your thing is at, as long as you've got them excited and you're creating something that's worth them being excited for. So I had no problem with that. And again, it's like, coming from Comicsgate, coming from just being independent my whole career, we want to be the upstarts. We want to be the.
That seems to be your whole campaign strategy, is we're the troublemakers, and we're.
Yeah, we're having fun making comics, something we're passionate about. It's all I've ever wanted to do is draw comics. So
is
the fact
this
that
your full-time job now, drawing comics?
Yeah, pretty much. I also do like some consulting for marketing, and built the website for Fantast and all that. So I'll do a little bit of that kind of stuff too. But
good for you.
For the most part, yeah, it's just I'm happy sitting here in my studio. I'm tired of doing I used to do conventions, do the whole fan art thing. Be gone 3 weekends out of every month, driving to who knows where. I love travel. I have the wanderlust, but I'm also 46 now, and I'm tired of it. I just want to stay here and do this all damn day and be left alone.
Yeah, I would love to sit here in this chair and write comic scripts all day, but I got to go to the construction site on Monday. Oh God, into the pit, everybody. In the rain and cold, whatever. But whatever. So what is like the worst interaction you had? Because your whole campaign is based on trolling people. Have you ever had anybody that was like outraged, or somebody just not getting it and get like a little too upset? Anything like that happen?
We had a couple people talk a little bit of trash about the art at one point, and I think there was a little bit of backlash about like the concept, like they just didn't get it. But nothing crazy. I kept hoping that somebody was going to take it in a negative direction, just so I could hitch them to the plow and just run them into the ground. Because I mean, anybody that sees this thing knows what it is and knows why we're doing what we're doing. And if somebody gets it the wrong way, that's on them, and we'll make sure that they remember it's on them. But for the most part, it's been a very positive response to this thing, regardless of how much I wanted somebody to be negative about it.
So I know you're goofing on a Disney thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Are you interested in, like, now that Steamboat Willie is public domain? Does that interest you at all? Like, she climbs on a boat and then there's, I don't even know.
I will say this: they don't just run. Enrique doesn't just run guns; he runs drugs, and the brand name of the cocaine is Snow White. I'll leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're having fun with it. That's what I can say, and definitely, there's a lot of room for us to wiggle and play with different ideas.
Yeah,
and
there's a lot of material there for you to goof around with. It's a lot of
And it's tough. It was so tough to whittle down the story to just a concise, like thorough, but yet have as many of the ideas that we could pack into it. And God, Piper, we would sit there in our DM group and just riff back and forth. And Eric and I are like, yeah, and what if this happens? Yeah, what about this? Yeah, let's do that. And can we throw the starfish? Yeah, we got to throw the starfish.
I was going to ask you that. Did she throw the starfish like Shuriken? Yeah.
Yeah, he's referred to as a throwing starfish. And his one line in the book, which we can share because we shared it before, is when she throws him, he yells, "I love my job."
That's funny. That's funny. So, so Eric, I know you're doing art on a lot of different comics. Pixel, is this your only comics? Is this your first comic that you've been a part of?
This is my first comic. Well, I did 2 pages for a book a couple years back. I don't know if you remember Mike Angerhauser. He did a book. He wound up having brain surgery, I believe it was, right in the middle of his campaign, and so he was having trouble finishing pages. So I came in and did 2 pages for him. Then I've submitted some fan art to a couple different projects, but this is the first one I'm directly involved in. I have some ideas and stuff that I'm looking at doing in the future, but at this point right now, no. I've got a cover I'm working on for a book that I can't really talk about yet.
Okay.
But I've done a bunch of stuff behind the scenes for different campaigns. Like I did the trading card for the no cover campaign.
So you're talking about you did all the art. When you said you did 2 pages and stuff,
I did. Yeah, I did 2 pages of art for.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you like did some ghostwriting or did some art.
No, sorry, I did art for those 2 pages, and then I've done like graphic design work for like the Mythicals, the trading cards with the Mythicals campaign for Hojo.
Cool. That's Hojo.
I did all the layout. Yeah, I did all the layout work for those.
I'm not sure if it's true, but I'm gonna say it, and if you say things enough, they become true. I was the first backer for number 2.
There you go.
Yeah, Hojo's a good guy.
Pixel's very good at the graphic design, by the way. He's done a few sketch card, trading card things. He's doing the lettering in the book, and yeah, he undersells himself. He's doing a great job.
I'm trying. I'm learning on the fly, but it's fun.
Well, once we get our girl done and put to bed, it's me on Dinosaur Man, and we got to get your Critical Snail up and running, man.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one too. That's a whole other project, John. It's about a cyborg snail that has a he has a shell that's a kind of like Inspector Gadget kind of vibe, where you can pretty much pull anything out of a shell, and it takes place in space, and he's got a
Felix
friend.
the cat. If anybody here old enough to remember Felix the cat, you know.
Yeah, I remember Felix. Yeah, it's gonna be fun. That was inspired by Earthworm Jim was who I used as a reference with that when I was creating the character. But man, there's so much good stuff.
And the other one was Dinosaur Man.
Yeah, my character, Dreader Dinosaur Man. It's currently a webtoon, and I've got a full book planned for it. I can probably share a quick piece of art here. But,
if I make it to issue 5 of my comics, it's all about dinosaurs, just so everybody knows.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So yes, that's the stretch goal. Let's get to my comic to number 5 so I can tell you my dinosaur story.
So with Dreaded Dinosaur Man, there's actually a couple of books in the works. One is an Arrow comic that's going to be done probably before this other one is. But it's if you like He-Man, Thundercats, if you're a Gen Xer, I play on a lot of those tropes, but it's an original character, and it's something that is very near and dear to my heart, and it breaks my heart because I haven't worked on it for several months now. But let me show.
So this is your passion project. Yeah.
I did do a wraparound cover design for the print book, and here it is.
Okay, I can share this?
Yep.
Okay. Oh, wow. The first thing that stands out is the colors are very striking.
Thank you.
Who's your colorist?
That's me.
Oh, so you're doing it all here. Cool.
Yeah, I do everything. I'm a bit of a jack of all trades. I can work in other comic book styles and stuff, but so yeah, this is a little cartooning, and then I'm fascinated with old sci-fi, so I created my own version of the robot monster for this story.
I was just about to say, look at the space alien robot. Is that like a skull inside? That is just like all classic sci-fi tropes just mashed.
Oh yeah. Yeah, and there's the supreme intelligence that he fights in the beginning of the book, which these poor little deer people gave all of their information to help raise them and stuff, and of course it enslaved them. So it's that kind of once you get past the webtoon, once I finish the origin part of the webtoon, you do those daily adventure things. So Dinosaur Man is all about freeing people from oppression and liberation and all this stuff. So that's kind of where we pick up the story in this book, and with him doing that, and it leads to the battle with the robot monster creature.
Cool. That looks fun. That looks fun. Now, is this children, all ages, mature? What would you say for this?
This is like a teen, like 10-year-old boys will love it, but they probably, your parents are going to want to, there's no swearing, there's no nudity, anything like that. But I would say this appeals to like 10 and 12-year-old boys.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm aiming at.
Yeah, I remember being 10 to 12 years old, and my father took my Doctor Strange comics out of my hand because the way Cleo was dressed. He was just like, look at this. Showing my mom, and my mom's like, should he be reading this?
I mean, Telexis and the Slave Girls, they're a little bit on the risque, but I'm trying not to do any more than what Tila or Chitara or any of that was.
Chitara was naked, man.
So good, naked as a jaybird.
Yeah. This looks cool. This looks fun.
Thank you.
You don't have this is just a project, a dream project. Do you have a date for this? Or when you think you're going to start?
I don't have a date for the print book, but I do have the webtoon up, and I've got 3 or 4 more chapters that I need to draw for the webtoon before I can do the print book, because the story leads into it.
Okay.
So that's one of the links that I sent you in the chat is the webtoon.
Okay. I'll scroll back up and see if I can find it.
I can let me see if I can just share that.
Is this it?
No, that's my personal website. So just above that, I think. The second link that I popped in. Yep, that's it right there.
Old man eyes. Old man eyes. Okay, so this will take everybody to the Dinosaur Man that we just were saying, and then Pixel Traitor wants to share. It's okay for me to bring this up?
Yeah, you can bring that up.
Okay, so this is Pixel Traitor, Critical Snail.
Yep.
Oh, look at that.
Nice.
Critical Snail. Yeah, so he's weaponized. I got a thing for guns, I guess. But I'm actually going to be changing him a little bit. I decided that the gun was not really fitting for the timeline, so he's going to have little laser pistols that he'll use for most of the story. But his thing is he's on a ship with a young girl that finds him, and I say young, but she was a mid-teen tinkerer kind of character that has a robot arm, and she repairs her arm all the time, and she finds him and nurses him back to health because he was damaged, and then gives him a robotic shell. And they form a friendship. She winds up getting kidnapped, and then he goes on a rampage to find her, and just a whole story about that. And then they get together, and then there's a whole space antics kind of thing. And he's got a hamster for a best friend kind of character, but he pilots a mech suit from a hamster ball, and so there's a whole little thing there. But yeah, it's pretty awesome. This is a story that I've been cooking up since like 2015, give or take.
Oh, and this is your artwork here. You drew the snail? That's
my artwork, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I do like who was it that just brought it up? Kirby. High speed, high agility, but low speed. So he reacts fast, but you can run away from him. So he shoots you in the back.
Yeah, if he's on the ground, he can't move very fast, but if he's using his robotics, he can definitely move quickly.
Yeah.
But
I see you got your stats here. Do you guys like role play Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that? Stat thing.
Role-playing games is one of those things I wish I could get into, but I just don't have the time, and I'd have to do it online. And sometimes that means a Discord server, and that's an instant turnoff for me.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I tried it once. It's not the same as a bunch of your buddies sitting around the table eating onions.
No.
Onions. I said instead of Funyuns, eating Funyuns. That's like the standard joke whenever we play role-playing games. Somebody has to bring Funyuns. Because that is such the stereotypical D&D thing. Does his trail slime? Oh, I'm reading the comment. Does his snail slime trail do anything? Yeah, points to where he is, so you can't.
Pretty much.
His viscosity rating was really high, though, so
he can slide pretty quick. Yeah.
Okay, I see that. It's okay to bring up Eric.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So yeah, these are the chapters that I have right now for Dreaded Dinosaur Man. And I'm trying to bring the story to a conclusion for the print book to make a lot more sense.
How long is each?
Webtoon, if you're not familiar with it, is a beautiful platform. It's made to read comics like we check our Facebook feeds and whatnot. So you basically scroll and read down.
Oh, wow, look at this. You know who you are reminds me of? Mike Allred.
Oh, okay, cool.
Who will be on my channel Tuesday, this coming Tuesday.
Oh, nice.
Fan of his. The dreaded dinosaur man.
Chat.
Is that his name?
He doesn't really know who he is in the lore. Like he just knows that this is the way he looks. He doesn't know why. He's kind of a curse and a mystery he's trying to solve.
Wait, scroll back up. Look to that open. The open mouth. I noticed this is like the third time we've seen like an open mouth and teeth. We had the shark, then we had the mermaid woman, and now this. I'm starting to sense there's a pattern here, a psychological.
I do like a good maw.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a good maw.
I mean, I like the fact that you mentioned that pattern instead of the other one I'm known for, which we won't speak of.
Oh, now I'm curious. Private message me.
I'm pretty good at the ladies' derriere. So
okay. Well,
people tend to comment on that. So this is his sidekick Spaz, who has a third arm, another piece of the story puzzle that you won't know for a while. Okay. And he's kind of his control group because like Dinosaur Man's half man, half monster. And he doesn't know whether or not he's a man becoming a monster or a monster trying to become a man.
Okay.
And so when he gets enraged, he loses the human side and lose control. And Spaz is kind of the only way for him to come back. So that's kind of what we see here with a little boop on the nose.
Okay. So
there's a lot of humor in it.
Little take on the Hulk Rick Jones.
Yeah, kind of like that. And for me, it's like these themes where children have a lot in this day and age that, we didn't have to worry about when we were young. And they're a lot more exposed to a lot of bad things, and they have a lot more complex emotions, I think, that they go through. And so I wanted to do something that communicated that, yes, you can learn to control your emotions. You can be the person you want to be, not the thing that maybe fate has made you. So in the first chapter, he's trying to save Telexis, the scantily clad slave girl, from these slavers. And, this is his first outing as a superhero. He forgets the blade that he was going to bring, jumps off the canyon.
Yeah, I'm seeing the He-Man influence.
Yeah, there's a lot of He-Man influence. So he's fallen while these guys are just talking about their normal day-to-day anecdote stuff, and he does not stick the landing. He doesn't be a hero. He gets hit.
He's a rookie at this point, so he's learning.
He's very much a rookie as far as
I don't know what it is, but I love the whole rookie superhero trope. Learning your powers, like in the Spider-Man movies when Peter Parker's trying to figure out how to swing and how sticking on the wall. I don't know. I love that. I hate when they just.
It's relatable because that's how we go through our everyday lives. We're constantly having to learn, adapt to our situations. That's why the Mary Janes and the current storytelling doesn't invoke anything like that. It's like modern day audiences are scared to tell a story where somebody's got to be broken first before they put themselves back together, and that's just not how we live our lives.
I agree with you. Like, I think that's why everybody liked Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, absolutely.
He was farm boy who wanted a bigger life, and he was held back by the needs of his family, and then when he finally did get into the bigger world, he was totally incompetent. Like I always remember the scene he's shooting at the Empire, and like Princess Leia is like grabbing him by the arm after Obi-Wan killed him, like, let's go.
Yeah.
You took, but to the point where in the third movie, when he threatened Jabba, you were like, "Shut up, Luke! You're just an idiot. You don't." And then when I see Rey, she's like so good. After 2 seconds, Han Solo's giving her the keys to the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah, no, it's just, oh God.
I was just like, I can't believe I'm watching this. This. We want a training montage. Yeah, that is such an 80s, 90s thing. Yeah. So this looks good. This is a lot of fun. You guys got keeping yourself busy with a lot of cool projects.
4, 8, 8.
Uh-oh, I heard a countdown, and you're not going to blow up.
There's my phone. I had to let my wife know she's on her way home from work that I'm now on live stream.
Me too. That's why this was perfect, because my wife and I, believe it or not, going to the movies tonight.
Nice.
Yeah. Daddy, take the Falcon away, please. Yeah. So this is a lot of fun, and your campaign for the Little Mermaid, I can't even speak tonight. I'm sorry. The Little Mermaid is still in demand, so I could still back it right now.
Absolutely.
I have a conversation with people. It cost me like $20 or so, because I end up backing it. I gotta stop doing this while I still get. And every day my wife comes down and says, hands me a package. Another stupid comic book. Another stupid comic book.
I'm glad my wife doesn't ask what's in the packages when they show up.
Oh, she knows. It's just a comic book, And then I'm like, oh, well, I kickstarted that 4 years ago, or I crowdfunded it. And she's like, it doesn't work on me anymore. Even my wife knows that crowdfunding is getting faster and faster. Yeah. Oh, here's a question from Gordon Goodbrother. Will there be any more sketch cards or add-ons? Again, my mouth.
Well, sketch cards, I do have a few that I've held in reserve, but we do have some stuff that we want to do with possible new package like setups for like a shirt and the Keshi. We got a really cool Keshi figure.
Oh, cool.
So, and there's
Keshi,
also we have a Keshi.
If I'm wrong, but a Keshi is like a resin printed figure.
Yeah, like a little rubber print. But it's injection molded.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have one of those. So we have an idea of doing that. Whether or not it'll go on the Fund My Comic campaign, I'm not sure. We're actually looking at possibly launching just to see, test the water at Kickstarter because of the whole bad girl vibe over there, to see if they'd be interested in something. We might take it over there. We're still debating it.
Why not? What do you got to lose?
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll see what happens there. But at this point,
I hope I'm not hurting anybody's feelings, but I want to do exclusively for a couple of months on Fund My Comic, and then see how it goes on Kickstarter and then Indiegogo. But I trust Fund My Comics. So that's why I want to debut. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to debut on a platform that's going to ban me or shadow ban me, or worst case scenario, something bad happens and then I can't talk to anybody to fix it. So I want to go with the people that I trust first.
Exactly. Yeah, we debuted here. We've had a really good run. We've pretty much tapped, I think, the audience that we can reach where we currently are. I think with some more promotion and some other stuff that we're planning on doing. So within the next month, I'm going to have a preview of the book, probably the first 10 or so pages put together, the cover, inside cover, and a few other things that we're going to present on Global Comics, as well as to all of our backers. And we're going to make it free online so people can read it, but as a preview of the entire book. And then there'll be links and stuff in the back for people to click through and get to our campaign. But we're hoping that'll kind of generate some more interest to the book, and we'll be able to use that at possibly conventions or different things to show off and get people interested in it. But it's just trying to find new audiences. We've really kind of tapped the Twitter sphere of indie comic stuff, and we've gotten to a lot of places, and we've even reached out to them a little bit. But we're at a point where we're really, I don't know. We got to figure out new places to go to get in front of people.
Okay. Oh, that's good. So, any last things you want to say before we call it a night? I gotta go start getting ready for date night tonight.
Thank you very much for having us. We really appreciate you giving us time on your channel.
Oh no, this is fun for me talking to people. A lot of cool things, and I really want to check out that documentary that you were talking about the comic collection. This, right? The Fantastic Collection.
Yep, that's the main website, and then up in the top of the menu bar, you'll see a link to Selling Superman. Then there's 2 trailers you can watch. One's about the label that I did, and the other is about the general story about the collection. So
I like Gordon's comment. I don't boycott funding platforms. I go I again, like, maybe I'm naive, maybe I'm whatever, but if I see something that I like on one of the platforms, I'm going to go there and buy it. I want to support the people. I want to support
exactly.
the comic book and the concept. So I don't understand if people, I don't go to Indiegogo, or I don't go to Kickstarter. I can understand Kickstarter after what they did to Richard Meyer. I can understand that, but I will say that out of the platforms that I just mentioned, Fund My Comic is the only platform that I've ever went to and then just perused and ended up buying something that caught my eye. I've done that,
nice,
a few times. And the other two sites, I've done that and not bought anything. So I don't know if it's my sensibilities skew this way, or if it's more ease of use, or I don't know. Yeah. Pixel, you said you were the guy that did Indicron, so maybe you have a better explanation of why that is for me than I know. But
I think the biggest thing is that Fund My Comic is purely comics, and so it's all for the love of comics, and it's all campaigns for smaller creators that are trying to do something new and fresh. And so when you get over there, you're literally looking at people just trying to fund a dream. And so when you browse around, you're like, oh, yeah, I can help this person make this thing happen. And so you're more apt to look around and check it out.
Yeah, I know RJ from the Fourth Age. He looks through Fund My Comics to find people to do our comic book team up talks, and he says he goes there because he knows that the people there are giving it their all, and they're comic book people, and he goes the other sites, he goes, I don't, it's almost like the tourists, if I may be crass, that for the long haul. I don't know, but that's the way I feel too. So again, I don't know if I'm talking out of my butt or anything, but that's what I think. So again, I said anything you want to say, and then I started talking, which is usual for me. So anything you want to say, I'll give you anything you want to say.
Just thank you to everybody that's shown us support, shared it out. I mean, even if people couldn't back it, I'm very, very grateful for them even just taking a look at it and sharing it. It's because of the people that supported this and found the original tweet funny that we're even here today making this, that we had the opportunity to do this. And so
I didn't know this. I think that's the best story I heard in a while, that you just, I'm going to troll people. And next thing you know, $20,000. Yeah. I talk a lot out of my butt. I have bad breath too when I do. I love this. I'm going to make this.
Yeah,
I love
it. So this, since we're talking about it real quick, this is going to be part of the campaign if we hit 400 backers. I haven't figured out how I'm going to make it part of the campaign yet, maybe as a print or a card, or maybe I'll make it a potential variant cover somehow that people would have to pick up. But I'm going to finish this art and make it part of the campaign in one way or the other.
You drew this?
Yeah, I did this.
Yeah, that is cool. For those of you who don't know, this is a goof on Akira, right?
Yeah, Akira. Now,
I said the wrong thing for a second, and then I was going to get accused of. You don't know what you're talking about, which happens a lot.
Shark here, the little shark here is inspired by another artist's work, but it does not appear in the book because it's just totally out of the timeline, because we're basing our story so far in the past. But I just love the look of this, and I was trying to lean into a little bit more of the homage of the bike from Akira. So he's got the instead of saying citizen, it says crustacean.
Oh, I couldn't even read that. Yeah, that's clever.
There's a few more things I need to do to this and clean it up a little bit more, but yeah, it's getting close.
Yeah, it looks good. I think it's clever. I think everything about your comic has been pretty clever.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, and I just think it's funny that it started out as a troll, and then you tried to pester people, and next thing you know, you're putting a bunch of people to work. And did you make that?
We had this
prototype.
Yeah, this is a prototype. So one of the follow-up campaigns I really would love to do is an origin story book for him with a plush toy. And so we want to do a little plush, probably handheld size, like maybe 10 by 10 kind of thing, and include a small storybook, maybe like a
little golden book.
Kind of yeah. That kind of thing.
Like there's a monster at the end of this book.
So look here, You guys, you got to go to fund my comic, and you got to back the Little Mermaid. Do it. Do it twice. Tell your friends to do it, or I will cut you.
I'm clipping that.
That's enough out of you. You got to get out of my whiskey. You're a little losing control here.
That's cool. That's a little plushy. It's perfect. And it's perfect for the campaign. You know, it's not like a stretching it a bit. It's actually, it works pretty well. That's funny. All right. But I'm going to close it down now because my wife is waiting for me upstairs. I got to go cleaned up to present myself to the public for the first time in a couple of days. You know, so thanks a lot, guys. This is a lot of fun. I don't know. I enjoy talking to people about campaigns, and I got to say that this story of how it came to be just made my day. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you so much, John.
And if you want to ever come back, just private message me, and yeah, we'll set something up. This is a lot of fun. Thank you.
Sounds good.
Thank you, John.
Bye bye, everybody. Bye bye.